Okay, so I have some data from PuzzleCube trials, and you'll notice that just like in class, I showed you having trial 1, minutes and seconds, trial 2, minutes and seconds, and trial 3, minutes and seconds. You're going to notice that there is no unit that is in the individual cells because Excel, whenever it sees a word or text or letters with numbers, it treats it all as text, so we can't actually do anything with it as far as data analysis. The other thing is we separated our minutes from our seconds because Excel works as in a decimal format, and so it doesn't understand that 60 seconds is a minute, and so we have to actually kind of convert for the computer, and then we can average our times out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to click on column D right here, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to insert, and that inserts another column right here, and this is going to be my decimal minutes, and I could give it a name. There we go. And if I want to, up here at the top, there's an option for text wrap. That tends to be a good idea. And I'm actually going to add another one over here as well. I can go ahead and copy and paste that over, Control C, Control V, and now I'm able to have a spot that I can put in a formula for each one of these. So right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a formula, and I'm going to make it so that my minutes, whole minutes, add up, and then we're going to take those seconds and divide them by 60 because there's 60 seconds in a minute. And then we're going to add that all together. So what we can do is take this number, and notice I just clicked on it. I could also type in B3 if I wanted. And then what I'm going to do is add it, so I hit that plus sign, and then I'm going to take this number divided by 60. And an important thing to remember with this is that we need to pay attention to order of operations. And so with this, the first thing it would do is divide whatever's in C3 divided by 60, and then it would add to B3, and that's exactly what we want. And so 3 minutes 45 seconds, that's about 3 3/4 of a minute, and so let's take a look. Alright, we have a good formula. It is a number that we expect it to be. What we can do is right here we can actually copy that, and so my mouse is usually this bubble cross going on, but I can actually move my mouse and it gets to be a skinny T right there. What I'm going to do is just click and drag from there, and it will copy that formula. Then it's actually pretty easy here. I'm going to hit Control C and then Control V, and we can see that that formula actually changed. And it's going to take F3 divided by E3 and add those together. And so that's a good formula there. And I can take those and same deal, copy those down. Okay, so now I've converted to something that Excel can actually understand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to figure out, okay, what is my average time for each one of those trials, for my first trial, my second trial, and my third trial. And that one's pretty easy. All I have to do is hit that equal sign. There is a function for it, so I can start typing average, and I can see that I've got that already there. I hit the tab key, and that gets my left parenthesis. If you want to type out all of the word average, that's fine. And then what I can do is highlight that data. If I wanted to, I could take D3, type it in, colon, and then that's the beginning, and then the end is D12. And so I could type that in manually, make sure I have that last parenthesis, so a parentheses all the way around it, and let's see. So about 4 minutes. All right. I can do the same thing for the trial 2, and then I'll do the same thing for trial 3. Okay, so now I have the average for trials 1, 2, and 3. And generally we might keep those averages down kind of close to our data, but I put them in here because it kind of makes our graphing a little bit easier. So I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to also insert and look for a scatter plot. So I'm going to add in this scatter plot right here. And so now, because I decided to highlight those and I have these numbers here, it's going to look like this. And we can make a few changes. One of them is a trend line, and you'll notice that this doesn't necessarily fit linear, but the exponential actually is a little bit closer. So I'm going to select that one for this trend line. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple changes to that. So I just double clicked on the trend line. It's exponential, and I would like to predict how long on average it would take for people to go not just trial 3, but maybe even up to trial 5. If they did it 5 times, how long should it take? Another thing I should select is display R-squared value, and that is a measure of how close our data fits this trend line. And 0.99, that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep that. And then I'm also going to display the equation, and that way if I wanted to do another calculation, I could do it there. Okay, so I have my equation, I have my R-squared value, I have my chart. I can hold control and scroll, and that's actually going to allow me to zoom out, and that's really just going to be to give it some space and move my chart down here. I should be able to just save this, and then this will be part of the submission.